Statistics show that 20% of small businesses fail in their first year of operation, while 50% fail within their first 5 years. This tells us that as we start our small businesses, we must be ready to fight on, because failure is always such a big possibility. But don't be scared, be open to learning, and you will surely succeed. And as you search for information, you're going to learn a lot and be able to be among the other 50% of businesses that still thrive through all the economic challenges, and also they stand the test of time. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we talk business, and I am going to outline some of the deadliest mistakes that startups make that almost cause our businesses to fall. And also I'm going to highlight on one of the major mistakes that I did in my own businesses that almost rendered it extinct. Let's do this. First of all, let me say that if I had to go back and start all over again, maybe I would be much far right now. But at the same time, the whole learning curve, the whole experience is what makes us better. We may take 3 years to learn, and then that 4th year, after having learned everything and made all the mistakes that you could possibly make, that year alone compensates for all the 3 years that you've been struggling and learning here and there. But we are here. Someone like me is here so that you who is starting your small business today in this 2020 will not make these same mistakes. The first mistake that we do, and I also did, is to just to use up all your capital to start the business. What I mean is, if you have 100k and you buy your product, I'm assuming it's a product-based business, so maybe you buy your stock and pay for the rent. Maybe you're asked to pay for 2 months rent. So let's say you have 100k and you pay 40,000 for the 2 months rent, and you're left with 60,000, and you buy all the stock with that 60,000, so you're left with nothing. So basically what you're doing here, you are left without a running capital, which is very important whenever you're starting a new business. The reason you need this running capital is to be able to cover the overhead costs of your business in the first months of its operation, because this is the time that that is the most uncertain time. You don't know if you're going to sell these things that you're stocking up, and you've not even tried it. Maybe you've not even tried it, so you've put all your money into it. You're assuming that you're going to sell these products and raise capital and raise money for all your overhead costs, and still raise money for restocking. That's the tricky part. You need to have more money set aside. Like, you need to have now what we call the working capital, and this is the one that will make a major difference between you and someone else who just went in and put all their money in the business. So if assuming you add like 40,000 aside for running capital, this money could either help you cover your overhead, your costs of running this business. Maybe you're starting and you didn't know, oh, I need like to brand, I need to have this type of packaging materials, I need this money for maybe the lunch and fare that you're using, I need this money to cover my rent too. And so that you're not going to interfere so much with the money that you get after selling your first stock. And this will enable you to restock easily and continue operating your business as you continue also learning without so much interference with your initial capital. So that is the reason people normally use the word start small and grow. Yeah, even if you add all the money, even if you add 200k to start a business, yeah, please do not start with the old 200k. Start with maybe 100 or maybe 120,000 and have the other 80,000 for an eventuality. Because right now you're just testing out your business. You're just trying to see if your products will sell well. You're trying to see how the costs that will come along the way that you never even thought of. And I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest mistakes that small businesses make, and you end up just stuck. You have this stock that you've bought, you've started, but the money that you've gotten, you ended up paying rent for it and other costs, and that is all. You're left with no money to restock. So that is the first mistake that we make. The second mistake that we make, and I also made, was being rigid in terms of the platforms that I'm using to market my products. What I mean is, when I started my business, I was only on Facebook. I just used to market on Facebook alone, and I ignored something like Instagram. Yeah, I ignored Instagram for like 2 years. I think I joined Instagram on now the 3rd year. And right now I regret, because I wish had I started marketing earlier on Instagram, I would have 2 very strong platforms for marketing my products, and maybe I would have even a bigger audience than I have at the moment. So right now I use, let's say, 3 platforms. 3 for now, because nowadays there are WhatsApp stories that never used to be there, and then I use at least I use 4 platforms to market my products. So when you look at like my Facebook page, it's doing well. It has, right now it has about 60,000 followers, but the Instagram one, when you compare to the Instagram one, which has maybe close to 4,300 followers, but if I started them at the same time, maybe the Instagram one would also at least have quite a good amount of audience, just like the Facebook one. So when you're starting, do not ignore any platforms that shows up and that is people that has audience. Just make use of it and grow your audience over the years, and you'll probably be able to reach more and more people, and the higher your chances. This other mistake is something that really awakened me. Like I had done it wrong for so long that I couldn't even believe it when I turned things around. That is the shipping method. Using the wrong shipping method for your products, especially if you're buying your products, especially if you're buying your products from another country. Yeah, I used to ship in my products using the air, the freight, using the air, which is quite expensive. And at that time when I'm doing it, I used to look at it in the sense of how fast the items are reaching me, are getting to me, instead of looking at the real economic implication it is having on my business. I just used to think that it's better to have these things coming in fast, you sell fast, you get these other things very fast to sell them. But because at the back of my mind, I used to have this fear of just running out of stock. So I just thought, if I'm shipping I'll just ship by air, so that I can be able to get these products fast enough and sell them and maybe restock such and such. Well, it works, yeah, but let me tell you, that is one of the reasons where your shipping method can make your growth become very slow or stunted. Because still, yes, you're selling your products, but the profit margin that you would have made to sustain your business, or maybe to make your business grow at a faster rate, most of that amount is going back to the shipping method. Air is very expensive. I'll give you a practical experience. Something happened and I decided to just ship in my products by sea. For this one time, I just told myself, let me ship these products by sea. And I'm telling you guys, that was a game changer for me. I remember I received items that I with a bill of 6,300 Kenyan shillings, the same items that I would pay 25,000 to receive. I was mind blown. I couldn't believe that I have now managed to save over 18,000 on one round of items. I couldn't believe it. So I told myself, so this is where my money has been getting lost in. This is where I've been losing my money. Because chances are, most of the time these products you get, the buying prices are almost the same. Like if I'm getting this, wherever I get the product, and someone else will still get them maybe at more or less the same price, even if maybe they get them at $1 less or $2 at most, depending on the quantity, because now here the quantity matters. Maybe they're getting it at $2 or $1 less and less than me. it still doesn't make much of a difference when it comes to our final maybe selling price. So if I'm selling the same item, at the end of it all, we are selling maybe at the same price, but the difference comes in when we look at these two people's shipping methods. The person who used C to ship their products, this product ends up now making a bigger percentage of profits than this other person who used the more expensive means of shipping their product. I'm just saying that whenever you're buying your products, please consider using the right shipping methods for your products, the shipping method that will enable you to save the most, and you'll thank me later. You'll reduce your overhead costs, you reduce the cost of running your businesses, and these, at least you'll have more profit to be able to sustain you, and that will translate your business gaining proper roots, and you'll be able to grow your capital even faster. In fact, I wish I discovered this earlier on. This is one of the biggest regrets I have in my whole entire business life experience. Please do not make that same mistake that I did. The other thing that I feel every small business, the startups should know at this day and age in this 2020 is to take your marketing budget seriously. Always have a marketing budget. Yeah, I'm talking about your social media paid adverts. Yeah, those ones are very much important. Always make sure that your marketing budget is set. Do not consume it, just have it. Just know that, just in the same way that you use you know that I have this as stock money, make sure that you have set aside also a marketing budget. The reason I'm saying this is, as long as people keep on seeing your product, you will always be in business. The moment people forget, the moment you just disappear, and eligible customers or potential customers no longer see, everything nowadays is just digital, everything people are on their phone. So the moment people no longer see your products or services, they just forget, because there are millions and thousands of other businesses and other products that they will be seeing from now, the businesses that are constantly advertising their products. So if you do not want to be forgotten, always make sure that you have your marketing budget. Make sure you pay for your ads on time, so that Facebook or whichever, mostly the Facebook can always run your ads. So always do not ignore that. Do not let your ads account just go dormant for long periods of time, because it's going to have an effect on your audience. Your audience will start forgetting about your business, and this is not a good thing for you, especially when you're starting up, because you want to create more and more awareness about your product, and you want people to keep on seeing your items. So like, you can set up a good, like something like an advert that runs for 10 days continuously is good enough to take you through that month. That is from my own experience. Such an ad is enough to take you through that whole month, because maybe you can divide it into 5 days for 2 times. Maybe 1 week you have an advert that is running, and maybe take a break of 1 week, and then the other week you put up another ad. That way you'll have 2 sets of ads that have run for the month, and the results from those ads are most likely enough for your business to generate sales for that month. Okay, so also ask yourself, how many times do you see adverts of these big businesses? Big businesses have huge marketing budgets. So if a big business is always marketing itself, just be sure that you, as a small business, always needs to be also marketing yourself. You will see these adverts for Alibaba almost, or every time you log into Facebook or Instagram, you're most likely to see these adverts of these big businesses like Alibaba. You'll see Jumia the advertisements are all over. Ask yourself why. These companies or these businesses take marketing or advertising very seriously, and this is what is keeping these big businesses thriving. So I hope that you also do the same, and yeah, always make sure that your budget for marketing is there, and it's helping you to run ads even when you're down. Maybe you are not even in the mood to market organically, talk to people. You see, these paid ads are just going to do the work for you. And I say, do not just break from your business or from marketing your business. You just take a break or stay for long without maybe updating your stocks, and maybe now the customers start forgetting you. That is very risky, because these people are going to, you're practically competing for these customers. Okay, in a way, these people may end up finding another business that is offering this product to them. So the moment you're not consistent, or the customers no longer see you, or maybe you no longer post products, they are not seeing something new or and such things, they are most likely going to divert their attention to the other businesses that are showing up and growing. These other businesses that are just showing up with new stuff regularly. They're updating new stocks, they are advertising. So these customers keep on seeing these businesses, and the moment their attention is diverted to the other businesses, getting them back is also not very easy. So make sure you stay consistent, because that is one of the reasons the customers will keep on coming back and back for more. That and many other reasons, such as the quality of the products that you're offering them. They will still come back if you're offering a good product. I mean, who doesn't love a good product? I hope so far you've learned something, or please comment and give us if you have something that is valuable that you could add to this video, or some sort of advice and experience. Just feel free to comment down below and tell us something. Let me say that I believe that it's always good to be flexible. Yeah, it's always good to be flexible. If one thing is not working, if something is not really working and you maybe tried your best, or you've discovered where you're going wrong, it's always good to just change things up and just try to do it in a different way, so that because we cannot keep on doing the same thing and expecting maybe the same outcome. We need to change up or do things in a different way, so that we can have that desired or maybe a different kind of outcome. And that is how we learn. I personally had to change things up after being in business for 2 years. I was in a location within I had a shop location, but after 2 years I decided to switch things up and just have my shop operate online. And I would say those after the 2 years, I've after switching things up, I'm okay, I'm comfortable, and I actually realized that I was just stressing myself up for nothing. In this social media era, you don't have to, it's not a must that you operate a brick and mortar kind of a business. The digital platforms that we have are just more than enough for us to make sure that our businesses are visible. And after all, if at the moment you've spent the first 1 or 2 years trying to create a client base and all that things, the rest of the time it will be much easier for you to maintain these clients or these customers, because you've already taken time to build up your clientele. So always, as you start up, always be ready to change things up. Wherever one method is not working, just use another method, and you never know, along the way you will be able to, one of the things will work for you, and you'll be happy. You'll have a happy ending. So let me say that all these mistakes are what helps us grow. If I had to start all over again, maybe I would spend less time making these mistakes, but I do not, you don't regret making the mistakes, because they're the ones that help everyone who's in business to learn on their own and grow. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope that what I've put out there is of benefit to someone somewhere, and I hope that your startups will thrive, grow and thrive, and be among the 50% that thrive even beyond the 5 years mark. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.